Received a simple challenge today from a good friend and fellow Parkinson's total badass ass kicker, Allison Sheltrown. This simple challenge: to put on a t-shirt. While this is not a challenge for me yet, and with luck and hard work never will be, for many people with Parkinson's it is a challenge. So to honor them and to bring awareness to our situation, I've decided to make a statement with my challenge. The first leg of that statement, in this case, is a Prowler Sled Drag, loaded with 810 pounds, symbolizing the load that Parkinson's places on our lives. It's right about this point in this little adventure that I realize I've put far too much weight on here. And like Parkinson's, the option to go back and take some of the weight off just does not exist. So I'm going to have to carry on and finish this thing this way. So rather than edit this down, I'm going to use this opportunity to tell another story that I've been holding on to for about a year since I saw these clips for the first time. The man's name is Inky Johnson.
You see, my mother had me when she was 15 years old, right? Over on the east side of Atlanta, we came up in this neighborhood by the name of Kirkwood, drug dealer on every corner, gang members in the neighborhood, 2-bedroom home, 14 people, used to sleep on the floor. Got the opportunity to sleep in the bed one time out of the week. It was 6 of us in the bed, 3 at the foot, 3 at the head. And I came up with this dream pretty quick. I said, man, I want to go to the NFL because I had 8 uncles in that house, all 8 of which are still going in and out of prison. First time being in organized sports. We get in organized sports. The thing was, after practice, everybody would leave to go home. And I always had to sit on the bench and wait on my mother because she worked at Wendy's. And so when my mother would show up in the park, it would be about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. So I'm sitting there, and when my mother would pull up, she drove an old Buick Regal, hubcaps off the car, seats torn up, the car was all beat up. And she would pull up in the park 10:30 at night. I would jump off the bench. I would sprint over to my mother. I would say, Mom, if you don't mind, can you please sit back in your car and turn on your car lights? I have to do some extra drills. I have to go to the NFL. She would never have to work another day in your life. And I knew my mother was tired. And every night, my mother would sit back in that car, and those car lights would hit that field. And he had a 7-year-old kid doing backpedaling drills, running sprints, running laps, chasing his dream to go to the NFL. But just beyond those car lights, I could always connect with my mother's eyes, so it made me dig a little bit deeper. It made me push myself a little bit further. It made me work a little bit harder. And I'll never forget, one night I came off the field and I went over to my mother. I said, can you please introduce me to my father? I need to meet him. Can you set that up? She set it up. First encounter with the guy, shook his hand. I said, hey man, how you doing? He said, hey little man, I heard you can play ball. I said, I heard you can too, but here's what I need you to do for me. I said, I don't need any money. I don't need any clothes. The only thing I need you to do for me is pick me up every Friday night, work me out every Saturday morning. You can take me back home after that. Can you do that? He said, yeah, I got you. First Saturday morning, he woke me up at 4:30 in the morning. He said, little man, we're running 2 miles to this fire station, running 2 miles back home. I said, cool, let's do it. Every other Saturday morning after that, wake up 4:30, run 2 miles there, 2 miles back. One Saturday, I said, man, I'm gonna beat him out. I beat him out to the line. I'm standing there. My father came dragging out of the house. He was walking really slow. And so my father came out and he walked right by me. And I looked up and he walked right by me and he looked up at me and he said, son. I said, yes, sir. He said, I want you to pull that other person outside of you today. And in my mind, I'm thinking, it's not another person out here. What are you talking about? It's 4:30. It's dark. He kept walking. He looked up again. He said, son. I said, yes, sir. He said, I want you to pull that other person outside of you today. Yes, sir. But in my mind at this point, I'm saying, man, he's trying to talk his way out of this thing. So the third time he said, son, I stepped back. I said, listen, Pops, no disrespect. You have a job. I get it. You may be tired. I said, so you can go back in the house, you can go to sleep. There's no hard feelings, but you can't stop me from running to this fire station. I'm running whether you go or not. And he said, son, the thing I'm trying to get you to understand is this, Ink. Son, there is another person inside of you, son. The thing I'm trying to get you to understand is this, Ink. No matter how hard you work, there is somebody inside of you that works even harder. Said, son, no matter how dedicated you are, there is somebody inside of you that's more dedicated. Son, no matter how committed you are, there is somebody inside of you that's more committed. But the thing I want you to understand, there will come a point in time where you will hit a piece of adversity that's a lot tougher than you, son. And every day you get up, you will have to have a greater purpose for why you do what you do. And to get up and keep going and executing whatever you do, son. That is what I'm trying to get you to understand. It's a lot bigger than running to the fire station. I'm trying to get you to push yourself to a point that you have never been to before. challenge. Meg Bernard, Brunn. And if I can complete the challenge, Jimmy Tana-Smith. Live your life. Push on your envelope. Life tries to put you in a box. Push on it. This is what you can do with Parkinson's.